I'm delighted to be joined by an absolute top guest, top goalkeeper, currently Norwich and Scotland #1, Angus Gunn. Welcome, mate.
Obviously went off to a flying start and, beat Cyprus at home and then Spain.
Have they managed to get you on Buckfast or at Mad Dog yet? You came through all the ranks of England youth team and you even got a call up to the first team.
It's an absolute honour to play for Scotland, and I'm glad that the fans have sort of welcomed me.
But obviously your dad's Brian Gunn, an absolute legend of the game.
Bring his gloves next time. He's going to be a goalkeeper.
Obviously signing for Man City at 15, but I've got it in my notes for £250,000 at that time.
But things happened, and I ended up signing at Southampton. So really strong debut at Stamford Bridge. Which was another unbelievable feeling, getting my Premier League debut. Got the loan deal done with maybe 5 minutes to go.
No way,
deadline day, so that was my first experience of deadline day.
That's class, though, that. What does the Goalkeepers Union mean to you?
What a save from Mark Howard.
Being a professional goalkeeper, I definitely understand the importance of recovery for the next performance. I've finally found the perfect product to help me recover. Introducing the Mito Mobile Flex from Mito Red Light. Their industry-leading devices harness the power of red light therapy, emitting red low light wavelengths through the skin. This safe and effective process kickstarts natural tissue recovery and a huge range of added benefits. Whether I'm at home relaxing or whether I'm in the studio researching goalie or no goalie, Mito Mobile Flex is designed to help me recover at my ultimate convenience. Its portability is unmatched and it even comes in its own handy travel case. You can effortlessly slip it into your suitcase or your kit bag. That's what makes it so travel friendly. The Mobile Flex offers freedom and flexibility, saving you the need to find a plug with up to 3 hours use on one single charge. That's enough charge to get me through 2 90-minute matches to help my recovery. It's an on-the-go solution that gives you no excuses but to aid your recovery. My favourite feature about the Mobile Flex unit is its spot treatment capabilities. Whether it's a sore knee, hand, foot or ankle after any intense matches, the device delivers targeted and immediate red light therapy exactly where you need it. The Mito Mobile Flex unit helps keep me in top form and you can trust in it too. Hit the link in the description below for your 10% saving using code FLEX10 from the Yours Mine Away podcast. Now that's a great save by Mark Howard. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Yours Mine Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Today I am honoured and I'm delighted to be joined by an absolute top guest, top goalkeeper, currently Norwich and Scotland #1, Angus Gunn. Welcome, mate.
Nice to be here.
Mate, thanks for coming in. Thanks for the effort coming in from Norwich, mate. An easy journey.
Nice little day off, so yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Obviously, I've prized you away from your home and that, but like I said, delighted to have you in. Obviously, playing for Scotland and that, and playing for Norwich at the moment. Massive family ties to the club and that, which we'll get on to. But massive congratulations on Scotland qualifying for Euro 2024.
Yeah, no, thank you. It's I've said it to a few people. It's just been a bit of a whirlwind couple of months. I think it was March, my first camp, and ever since then, obviously went off to a flying start. Beat Cyprus at home and then Spain. Spain game at Hampden Park was pretty special, and ever since that we've been riding the wave, and we were sort of happy to get over the line when Norway didn't win the other night, and I think we had a few celebrated drinks in Glasgow on that night, and just really looking forward to the summer now.
One thing I always think when I watch Scotland play, and obviously what you see after, it's just the team spirit just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I've said it many times. Like, obviously, I came in as a bit of an outsider, and I think after the first camp, I was at home, and the lads welcomed me so well. I think it helped me knowing quite a few of the lads already, I think obviously results and winning games helps that as well. So it's a really close knit group, and liken it to a family really at the moment. Hopefully we can go to the Euros in the summer and have a good time. Yeah,
exactly. As long as you give a good account of yourself, but you've got such a good, talented young squad as well. Even yourself as a goalkeeper, you're still very young. It's actually a Scotland squad that you actually think could go on and do something quite special. Obviously, getting there is the hardest part, and you've managed to achieve that, so you may as well go and have a free hit at it. Yeah, no,
100%. I think people have seen in the games that we've played that we've got a lot of quality. Even in the games that we've lost, in the sort of friendlies recently, we've made it good account of ourselves. Obviously fell up short against sort of England and France, but we caused those teams problems. So I think if we can do that, and sometimes you need a bit of luck as well in games like that against big teams, and who knows? See how far we can get.
Have they managed to get you on Buckfast or at Mad Dog yet?
No, nothing yet. I think, to be fair, even
strictly tenants.
Yeah, no, yeah. To be fair, I'm not really a massive drinker. I think, but yeah, no, I think all the lads, we had a good time when we qualified, and probably when we're celebrating after the summer, we'll have a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah. As we were speaking off air, you obviously came through all the ranks of England youth team, and you even got a call up to the first team. How different is it, and how honoured were you to actually go and represent Scotland? Obviously, with your old man playing for them.
Yeah. No, it's something that was talked about quite a lot, and for me, it wasn't really much of a big deal, to be honest. Obviously, I grew up in England, was born here, and everything like that. But at the same time, obviously, I knew my dad's played for Scotland 6 times, so I always supported both teams when I was growing up. Obviously, had a unbelievable opportunity and chance to represent England from a young age, which I really enjoyed, and sort of gave me a platform in my career as well to sort of go on to what I've achieved. So I'll always be thankful for them, but at the same time, I think at the stage in my career I was at, obviously started playing regularly at Norwich, had a conversation with the manager, and I jumped at it straight away. So it's an absolute honour to play for Scotland, and I'm glad that the fans have sort of welcomed me. Obviously results help as well, and hopefully we can go on and have many more enjoyable years.
Yeah, no, definitely. Right, I want to talk about your dad a little bit as well. So obviously your dad's Brian Gunn, an absolute legend of the game, but especially at Norwich, gone on to achieve pretty much everything at Norwich and played hundreds of games and end up managing them as a caretaker, and that it's one of the clubs that you came through at.
Yeah.
There's massive family ties, like I said. Is it hard with everybody knowing your dad so well, to the pressure that's on you to have came through that system?
I think maybe when I was younger it was a bit harder, but I think as I've grown up, obviously I had a period where I was away and came back, but as I've grown up, I've learned to sort of deal with it pretty easily. And when I was younger, it probably was quite hard, because obviously I was in the academy there, and you always sort of think people think you're there for different reasons, but I think from a young age, obviously I was always quite talented, so I think I always used to like doing my talking on the pitch. So as I grew up, I sort of dealt with it pretty easily, and now it's something that I sort of relish and welcome, and I think it gives me even more sort of support from the fans now as well.
Yeah, obviously a lot of people from the outside especially will say, because your dad's a player there, a coach there, that their son has a natural rite of path. But it's never that case. You have to be good enough to play, and you have to earn your stripes, and you clearly did that. And obviously we'll get on to your move to Man City at such a young age, but is it sometimes a bit clouded because of your dad working for the club?
Potentially, but I think sort of when I sort of started sort of getting into sort of England squads and stuff like that when I was younger, I think that's when people sort of realised that I'm here on my own merit, and I'm pretty decent goalkeeper. So I think
You're underselling yourself massively.
So it was a weird sort of situation, but like I said, I grew up with it pretty much my whole life, so I learnt to deal with it pretty easily.
Normal.
To be honest. Yeah.
He's just dad, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right. I've got a couple of quick fire questions, right?
Yeah.
Just to smash into. Catch or parry?
Catch.
Favourite goalie kit colour?
Black.
Everyone says black.
Black,
it's really popular.
Yeah.
Right. Play out from the back or kick it long?
Play out from the back.
Right. Favourite ever goalkeeper?
Peter Cech.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Cech.
You'd have came through at that era at Chelsea.
When he first came, and
his lotto boot and glove combo.
Pardon?
Was it his lotto boot and glove combo? Remember them?
I'm not sure it was that. It's just more of just how good he was. I think.
He was class.
I mean, obviously he started winning everything.
Yeah. He had an unbelievable top-hand save in every game somehow.
Yeah, no, I just remember him just being out of this world.
Yeah. Right, match of the day or Sky Sports News?
Match of the day.
Classic. How tall are you?
6'5".
Yeah, right. Who's the best goalie in the world right now?
Say Edison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got a bit of everything.
Yeah. I think, obviously, the way Man City play, I think, suits him unbelievably well. So I think, him and Alisson, I think, are probably the top two. Yeah.
Way ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
I agree. Right, head tennis or two-touch?
Both, but if I had to pick, head tennis.
Right, and then last one. Two-touch, yeah.
No, head tennis.
Oh, head tennis, yeah. It's competitive,
I like them
isn't it?
both, but yeah.
Yeah. Right, and then last one is last minute of a game. You can either save a penalty to win the game or go up and score a goal.
Score a goal.
Yes,
yeah.
Finally. Only proper goalies say score. You need to score a goal at some point.
Yeah, to be fair, not every game, but quite a lot of games, like maybe the night before going to the game, I always dream of it or think of it in my head.
Yeah.
Just imagine it.
There's certain points in games, when you're drawing or you're losing, you're like, I know I can go up here. I can be effective.
Yeah. It is a big dream of mine that I'd score a goal.
I mean, I'd take anything. I'd take a kick in the wind. I don't know what I'd do though. You reckon you've got a cellar you'd go to?
Nah, I'd just probably jump into the crowd. Yeah.
Take the
go
book
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, nice you. Right, I know now. Normally kick this off with how you got into goalkeeping. So obviously, probably tie into speaking about your dad. But do you remember the first time you ever thought, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna be a goalie?
When I was younger, I used to prefer playing upfield.
Yep. Same, everyone does.
Yeah, it's the same with most people. And I think I was, 7 or 8, probably 8, trialling for Norwich outfield. And, in the trials, it was basically just playing sort of 8-a-side once a week at the training ground. And obviously they just look to see if they want to sign you. And I think it was, coming towards the end of the year when they was going to choose who was going to sort of join the academy at under 9s. And then I think the keeper got injured, and I think I was probably hiding a little bit, but someone obviously turned around and said, you go and goal. And I was like, right, okay. And ended up doing well. And then the coach came over to me and I think it was my mum after the training session, and said that bring his gloves next time, and he's going to be a goalkeeper.
Yeah. Didn't have any say in it. It just got
didn't have a say. Kind of got forced into it. Then I think a couple of months later I was signed for the academy under 9s. So that was how it happened, really.
See, that journey home, obviously after being told that, did you think, I don't want to do that? Or did you think, I'm going to go home and tell Dad that I'm now a goalie?
I think, because I was so young, I was just go for it, why not?
Yeah.
But apparently my mum was very reluctant to sort of
Not
let it happen.
surprised.
Yeah, and obviously dealing with my dad for however long throughout his career.
Highs and lows and a lot more lows.
Yeah, so I don't think she was very happy at the start. I think after I went in and started enjoying it, and after that I didn't really look back.
Yeah. Obviously, such a young age to almost get thrust into it is daunting. And considering you've not played with your mates, Sunday league, you've just gone straight into an academy, but then you've gone on to work the whole way through, is actually a hell of an achievement.
Yeah, no, I think obviously I used to, mess about with my mates and that, playing in goal, but I never really enjoyed it. Sort of, even I think up to about 14, 15 at school, I used to still want to play outfield, because that was the only chance I'd probably get.
Yep.
So I'd always sort of try and play for my school team outfield and stuff like that. I think at that age you just sort of, if someone tells you that that's where they want you to play, I was like, yeah, go on, might as well.
Did you see Norwich then? Obviously, I don't know if this relates to you, but I did, right? So I was at Arsenal Academy from 9 years old, but that was work. And then so I'd play for my school, my borough, my county, but outfield. Yeah. So that was me just having fun, enjoying football. And then every time I turned up for training for Arsenal, I was there to work.
Yeah.
I was there to learn. I was there to get better. It was it was school for me. And the games were the same, but I used to have my own release in other teams away, and just thought about it totally different.
Yeah, no, I think it sounds pretty similar. I think I used to sort of get my more enjoyment out of playing with my mates and in the school team, and then like I said, when I went to the academy and sort of trained every a couple times a week. I think it was when I was younger. That was when there was a bit more pressure and you had to really focus. So yeah, no, yeah, sounds very similar.
Yeah. Right. Well, sounds similar until you get to 15 and Man City put a bid in for you. Obviously, signing for Man City at 15, I've got it in my notes for £250,000 at that time. It's a lot of money, but it's the move that goes with it. Obviously, you moving house from being settled in Norwich to then going, right, you're going to be put in. Was you in digs or did you move?
No,
did the family move?
Because I was obviously still a schoolboy. What happened was my dad got a job up in Manchester with my agency, and that's why I had to leave because I was relocating with my family. So yeah, no, obviously it went to a tribunal or whatever, and you know, the clubs worked it out. But yeah, no, moved up my family, which I think helped me settle in a lot easier. And yeah, no, it was one of them things that was obviously coming from Norwich. It's not really, I wouldn't say sort of the busiest place, or sort of I wasn't really used to sort of the big cities or anything like that. So yeah, moving to somewhere like that was pretty daunting and you know, a little bit scary. But I think yeah, ever since I moved there, I was you know, never looking back. And obviously with what was happening at the club at the time with the takeover and everything like that.
Because that was right at that point.
Yeah,
Man City.
Yeah, it was pretty much at the start.
Yep.
And I think like before I was signing, they were showing me all the plans for the training ground and you know, obviously the stadium development and stuff like that. So you know, that was a big pull, and obviously I knew there'd be a lot of talent coming through the door as well to sort of compete with. So yeah, it was a no-brainer for me at that age, really. Did you find that you upped your levels when you moved to City? Like obviously, you get used to being in a small bubble in Norwich, and obviously the pressure and the expectation level. But you get a move like that to a club that's on the up. Is that difficult, or is it you thrived off it? Yeah, no, I think I thrived off it. I think obviously from sort of going away with international teams, it was probably quite similar to that. Sort of the standard. Obviously, it always gets lifted when you go away with that kind of level of team. So, and I think when I first went as well, I trained a lot with the youth team, which obviously was another step up as well. So yeah, no, I felt like I thrived off it. I think at times, like any sort of youngster, you always find things hard, especially when you're sort of getting pushed to your limit, you know, against players that are older than you. But I think that really helped me, and if anything, pushed me on to you know, try even harder. Yeah, I remember watching some of your international games when you was young, and I was thinking, cool, I got a top goalie like coming out here, and like, but then like when you trace it back, that obviously a lot of I'm going to say your old man again, but like you're tight in, and the move that you got, it was no surprise really. So like, you obviously being at Man City at that time and pushing yourself, but then going back to your own age group with the international scene, you must have found it a lot easier almost, and that's probably why you thrive so much on that scene. Yeah, no, I think always from a young age, I always got pushed to, and I enjoyed playing sort of up an age group or a couple of age groups, and I think that always helps, sort of getting used to that sort of level, the expectation, the standard, and I think, you know, even if sometimes you might find it hard, like you said, like when you go back down to your own age group, you know, people then look at you like, you know, wow, like, you know, this level, like his standard is unbelievable. Yeah. But I think that was because I was getting pushed so much, and you don't really think about it at the time. Sometimes you think, oh, this is probably a little bit too hard or whatever. But I think, yeah, once you sort of realise it's for a reason, and yeah, no, it's going to make you better, then I think, yeah, I just used to always enjoy getting pushed. And pushed. Who were the first team goalies at City at the time? When I first went, I think it was, pretty well. Obviously, Joe Hart was there. I think that's definitely Shay Given was there at the time. I think it was at the period where there was a few injuries. I think it was just before when Joe sort of started, you know, getting into the team and having that unbelievable period that he did. So yeah, no, I was sort of there for that period and sort of watched it from close. So Yeah, no, I think at the start, obviously, I was quite young, so it was more with the academy.
Yep.
And then, like, the older I got, the more opportunities I got to train with sort of him and Richard Wright.
Yeah.
Who's there as well? Pantilimon.
Yeah.
Big 7-foot Costel Pantilimon. No, those kind of experiences were, brilliant for me.
Yeah, it must have been amazing then, as you saying, like your development was continuing, and the more that you started to train with them and picking their brains, and someone like Joe, even at the same age as me, I look up to him of what he achieved and how he performed at that level for so long.
Yeah.
So it's like for you to see them day to day and pick up traits of total different goalkeepers. You're a tall goalie yourself, so even seeing Pantomilo making saves that you would have went, oh, I'll tell you what, I can take some of that.
Yeah.
But then there have been other things you went, absolutely not for me.
Yeah. No, I think being able to sort of go up close and train with someone like Joe was unbelievable, and I think his sort of enthusiasm and his love for goalkeeping definitely can't not rub off on you, and is definitely someone that I always looked up to before, but since working with him, even more so.
Yeah, class. And then obviously, as you start to get to that point and you're doing well international wise, yeah, there must have reached a point where you're like, where's my development? Where's that next step? And obviously yours was to go out on loan. Most people go on loan, National League, and they work their way through. You went straight into Norwich, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I think at the time, like the year or even a couple of years before that, I was always trying to push for a loan, sort of League One, trying, even if it was sort of just an emergency one, just to get a few games. But they never really sort of let me do it. And at the time, it was just when the sort of Youth Champions League started. So they were actually, those kind of standards of games were probably similar level, if not even harder than sort of lower league. So, I never really got the opportunity at a young age to go out, which, probably would have been a good thing for me. But, at the same time, being at a club like Man City, it was just being around that kind of environment was amazing. And I think the year before I went out to Norwich was Pep's first year at Man City.
Yeah.
And he came in and said that he wanted me as number 3 there. And yeah, for me that was a no-brainer. Like, I was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm staying here for the year.
Yeah. Because sometimes it's hard to get out of the bigger clubs because they hoard goalkeepers, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they use them for the shooting drills and extra training sessions, and the squads are bigger, so you need more bodies and you need more goalies.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think at that age, I was obviously more than willing to be that and go just be in that environment really. With those type of players, and then I think I realised towards the end of that season that now's my time, that I need to sort of go and play, and obviously I spoke to them about that and they were happy, and we managed to find or had a couple of options, but obviously Norwich was there, and that was another no-brainer.
Yeah, perfect fit really. Obviously you went on to go on loan to Norwich, and you was an ever-present that season, playing every game. Like, even that in itself, your first loan move, and they, even if you were having tricky periods, they just stuck with you. Like, that sort of grounding that would have given you in that first year of playing competitive football. Like, that's obviously where you get your drive from a little bit now, and you know that you just want to get out there and play games, don't you?
Yeah, no, I think at that time, I think I signed, and then I think the week or a couple of weeks after I signed, that's when they brought Fark in as the manager. So they didn't actually have a manager at the time when I signed, but it was, Stuart Webber just went there, wanted to bring me in, and then I think that season it was probably more of a transitional one for the club, but obviously for me as a young keeper, and the manager was brilliant with me, and he gave me that confidence, like you said, the trust that he had in me. Played every league game, and ever since then I've always sort of made that a target mine at every club, sort of before the season, that I want to try and play every league game. Yeah. Obviously, things happen, injuries happen, but I think you set that target. Hopefully that'll just push you on to sort of try and stay in the team wherever you are. But he was great for me, and that first loan was even if it wasn't perfect, it was really really special for me, I think.
Yeah, class. What a level to go and learn your trade at as well. Like you're not dropping down leagues and getting beaten up every game. You're actually going out playing proper competitive football that from a really high standard. And obviously that the benefits in that you can see it now in how you play and you handle the pressure of. It's like you thrive off that bit more.
Yeah. No, I think it's one of them where you sort of get thrown into it and you sort of either sort of crumble or you take it on. And I think I don't think I've ever sort of had that feeling on a football pitch since my first league game when I think it was at Craven Cottage, Fulham away. That feeling I had before the game and like when the game kicked off, I've never had that sort of rush in my body on a football pitch, again really. That was a special moment and just thought, that just gave me the confidence to sort of kick on from there really. Yeah.
See at the end of that season then, being an ever-present in the league, where's your mind at? Are you thinking, right, do I go back to City now?
Yeah.
Do I push to try and play? Do I try and get myself another loan move?
Yeah, no, I think it's one of them that you always look back on and always question yourself. Did you make the right decision, or were you a little bit too greedy to leave? But I made my mind up pretty early. I didn't want to go back to City and just sort of be there, sort of number 3 or maybe even number 2. I don't know, but I made my mind up pretty early, and I think there was a few clubs that came in, and looking back, maybe it would have been better to get another loan, sort of get that sort of like I had in that year at Norwich, game time in the whole season, and what things happened, and I ended up signing at Southampton. So I think at that time that felt like the right decision, and I don't regret it now. I really enjoyed my time there, and it was a crazy time in my life really.
Yeah, Southampton's always had a really good depth of goalkeepers, and even when you were there were some really top goalkeepers that you're working with and competing against. Like that's a total different scenario from the year before, where you was an established number 1 to then having to fight day in day out for your spot. Was that like? I know that it's enjoyable at times, but it's also when you go home and reflect, it's a lot harder.
Yeah, no, I think that few years in my life was like an interesting one. It's probably when I was there was probably the time where I learned most about myself and sort of what it really is like sort of in the football world really. At the time I probably didn't deal with it great, but looking back it probably helped me sort of to get where I am now. Like you said, the quality of keepers that were there at the time, it pushed me even more to work harder in training. And at times I had sort of spells there where I got into the team and done pretty well. And it just never really sort of materialised long term and didn't really click, which for whatever reason happened. And but at the same time I really enjoyed my time at the club.
That's what I mean. See, like the season before at Norwich, where you're an ever present. That's because you know that you're playing week in, week out. You can probably play with more freedom. Yeah, you can go out and enjoy it more and express yourself a bit more.
Yeah.
Where like the season after, like you feel like the calibre of goalkeepers that are around, and no disrespect to the ones that were at Norwich, but like the ones that are at Southampton, you're going, if I make one mistake here, I'm not going to play for the next 4 or 5 games, and I've got to like try and build my way back into a team or wait for an opportunity. It's such goalkeeping like that is so hard because the mindset you have to change depending on different managers, different clubs, different goalkeepers that you're playing with. Like the competition is so hard that people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes mentally for us.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, to be fair, for me at that time, I knew I wasn't going in to be number 1. I knew I was going in to challenge Alex McCarthy at the time, who was playing. So from my point of view, it was an opportunity to push at a Premier League club. And I think halfway through the season, we changed managers from Mark Hughes to Hassan Hutel, who came in, and we were in a difficult position, and I think that maybe put back my chance a little bit because the manager changed, and obviously he needed a chance to look at the players that were playing. But yeah, no, I think it was around Christmas, New Year time when I got an opportunity in the Premier League, and I had a really, really strong debut at Stamford Bridge. Which was another unbelievable feeling, getting my Premier League debut. And I think I didn't play straight away after that. I think it was maybe a month or 2 months down the line where I came back into the team. And then sort of the team picked up results, and it was just sort of on a roll really. And getting thrown into sort of a relegation battle like that, looking back, I didn't really feel too much pressure. I just sort of thought, I'm playing the Premier League here, I've just got to enjoy it. And we managed to stay up, and that was a good end to the season that year.
Yeah, but being in a relegation battle compared to in a promotion fight is such a different feeling, and in the dressing room, the mentality, it's a whole different learning experience especially for a goalie. Like the way that you end up playing when you're in a relegation battle, and you go ultra safe because you can't make mistakes because it could cost you 3 points, and it changes the way that you play naturally as a goalkeeper. I've thrived off it sometimes when you're like that siege mentality of like can't get beat today, can't concede because we will lose.
Yeah, no. I think because I was obviously so young, I think at that age I didn't really think about it too much. I think maybe if I was in that situation now, maybe I'd probably be more worried, like thinking like that. But I think at that age I was just buzzing to be playing in the Premier League. So I think that probably helped me at that time.
Yeah, no, class, right? Let's just go on to Stoke and moving back to Norwich. So you had a brief loan spell at Stoke to go and get some games again.
Yeah.
What did you find it like?
It was a weird one because I think it was in the middle of the COVID sort of period.
It's a strange period for everyone in football.
Yeah, no. So I think it was time at Southampton where they made it clear that I wasn't sort of going to be involved. I think Fraser just came back from Celtic, so he was on the bench. I wasn't even on the bench at that time, and then because it was the COVID year, the transfer window didn't close till October or something like that. And I think a few things happened. I think Jack Butler moved from Stoke to Palace on deadline day, and they obviously wanted to bring a keeper in. And I think got the loan deal done with maybe 5 minutes to go.
No way,
deadline day. So that was my first experience of deadline day.
That's class, though, that.
But I think because it was a loan move, I could do everything from the training ground in Southampton. So it wasn't one of them where I was rushing about and things like that. That was a crazy period. And I think.
Just on that, right? Behind the scenes, it's carnage, isn't it? Those sort of like deadline day moves, and like you're waiting for it to get announced. You're not, but you're doing all the press stuff, aren't you? You're doing like the media interviews, and like you've signed all the contracts, but you're just waiting for that approval.
Well, I think on that day, I didn't even. I was sat in the Southampton secretary's office at 5 to midnight or whatever it was, the deadline. So I didn't even meet anyone from Stoke, or I spoke to the manager a couple of times on the phone. That was it, and obviously I signed on the deadline day, and I think the next day I was up there and going into training.
Oh right, yeah.
It's like a quarter of the way through the season already.
Yeah.
That was a weird one, and I think they had a good start to the season that year. Adam Davies was playing.
Yeah.
At the start of the season, they had a good start, and I think even in the cup they beat a couple of Premier League teams, and he was doing really well. So I went in there and didn't start straight away, and then I think a couple of weeks in, I think he ended up getting injured away at Swansea. Had to come on at half time.
That's a horrible feeling.
I think that's my only time I've ever had to come on in a game.
Horrible, wasn't it?
And it didn't really go well, to be honest.
I tell you what, see, I've come on a few times now. I came on last year at half time.
Yeah.
And honest, I've never felt so jelly-legged in my life, because you don't warm up as a goalie on a bench.
Yeah.
And like you don't get a warm up. Like before the game, you might do a little bit of shooting. You don't do any crossing. You're not doing you're doing half as much handling, because it's all about the keeper at start.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you come on, you ain't ready.
No
and
chance.
even like your mentality, you've like the night before, you've had a comfortable night in an hotel or at home, and it's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hope it never happens again, but. Obviously that happened, and came on and didn't go very well. We lost the game or whatever. So I was like, oh no, but obviously he was injured, so I was in the team now. And then I think the next sort of few months done really well. I think we got sort of 3 or 4 clean sheets on the bounce. Went into a international break, obviously on a high, feeling really confident. And I think it was in that international break, obviously you're in training with, the lads that haven't gone away.
Yep.
And, I've just done my ankle in training, syndesmosis. And, obviously at that time, I think they said it was like 3 months, maybe 4. But just before Christmas, and I think that obviously didn't help the move and things like that, and obviously it was COVID, and I think after that injury, it just sort of things didn't really feel right there, and obviously I didn't. I think I only played 4 or 5 games before got that injury, and then I think I came back, played a few games before the end of the season. Didn't really feel fit or whatever, and I think I was actually supposed to stay there another year because they made it a 2-year loan. But I think after the way it sort of went that year and how it ended, I didn't really feel like I wanted to stay there, and we managed to stop that and then went back to Southampton, and in my head I was going back there to give it another go and try and get back in the team.
Yeah, obviously, like that's hard in itself. Like when a club's loaned you out to get you games, and then you go back after not playing and an injury. See, like I'm big on like goalkeepers mentally, where have strong characters, but obviously when you get setbacks, and that's hard to like reset a lot of the time. So like you go back and you think, right, I'm going to give this a good go, but if it don't work out the first game. And like people go, he's exactly the same, or he's different, and like that's hard to reprove yourself out of the same club almost. So it must have been, like when Norwich came back around again, you must have just went, look, I'm going to go and play, I'm going to go and enjoy my football, and like obviously that's where you are now, and it's benefiting yourself with Scotland and stuff. Is that just a natural thing that as soon as it came about again to rejoin?
Yeah, no, I think obviously I went back to Southampton and. I think when I had that injury at Stoke, something kind of changed in me a little bit, and that was probably the time where I worked the hardest I've worked before in the gym. Obviously, when you're injured, you can't really do anything. So, at that stage, like I then started doing more stuff in the gym, had that mentality, and then sort of realised that something clicked in my head anyway, and I went back to Southampton, and I didn't really care what happened. I just knew that I was in a good place, like mentally, and like I just wanted to attack it, and I think I went and seen the manager and said I want to come back here and try and get back in the team, and the first thing he said to me was like, I don't see that. I think.
Not even giving you a fair crack at it.
No, yeah. I think before I even probably trained, I think it was. And he was like, I don't see that. I think you should go out on loan again and try and prove yourself or whatever. So then after that, I was like, well, obviously it's like he's, doesn't want me here, not really having me. And there wasn't really too much sort of happening in the transfer window. And then I think a week or 2 after that, my agent rang me and said, what do you think about going back to Norwich? Obviously, I think it was the year they got promoted, so they were Premier League again. And obviously Tim was there playing, got promoted again. So I knew I was going there sort of as number 2 to try and push him and get in the team. But obviously the manager that was there when I went on loan was still there, and he was the one that wanted me, and I got on with him very well. So. In my head at that time, I felt like I want to go somewhere that want me for who I am. They respect me. Obviously, I know them quite well. It seemed like a good fit at the time. So when it came about, jumped at it straight away, really.
Yeah, and obviously you're happy there and you're settled now. Like, do you feel like that reflects in your football?
Yeah, no, I think definitely. I think whenever people are, players are happy, I think you always get the best out of them. And yeah, like you said, like obviously I had to bide my time a little bit, but I think at that time, obviously learning from someone like Tim, who was doing really well, but obviously I knew at that stage of his career that there'd be opportunities, obviously maybe injuries or whatever. So I knew I just had to be patient, and I think that was the year the manager left Norwich as well. So Dean Smith came in halfway through the year, and I had to be patient again when they changed the manager. But I managed to get, I think it was 6 or 7 games in that season in the Premier League. I'd done pretty well. Obviously, we got relegated. But the games I've done in, I've done well, and felt pretty confident, and then we went back into the Championship, and I thought I was probably coming back in and being number one after the way I ended the season, and I think it's. Obviously, I think in pre-season you never really know sometimes.
You can't gauge it sometimes,
Can't gauge
can
it.
you?
And
we
were
were
sort of playing half each and
horrible
45 minutes each, and then I think it came to the first game I wasn't playing again. I was like, oh, like it was a bit of a kick in the teeth. So I think at that time had to stay patient. Obviously, I don't think it did. We started really well that year actually. But then I think it got to sort of middle of the season, just before Christmas, and we had a big dip. And then managed to get in the team. And then, felt really good, done really well. And I think ever since then, sort of, played most of the games since then, really.
Yeah, nice. Huge shout out to Forged Irish Stout for being part of this podcast. Listen to that beauty. An unbelievably smooth, creamy stout by Conor McGregor, the UFC legend. Not here to take part, but here to take over. Forged Irish Stout is on a mission to become the biggest Irish stout. Conor McGregor has taken over the whiskey game. Now he's about to take over the stout game. Me and my guests will be enjoying a few cans in the next few episodes. If you fancy checking it out too, make sure you hit the description below and find out where you can get Forged Irish Stout. Forged Irish Stout will be available in Asda nationwide come August. Let's get back to the podcast. Right, I'm going to get onto our quiz now, just to break this up. Right, I've got a quiz called Goalie or No Goalie. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Right. So it's 1 point for each correct answer, and I've got 5 international current goalkeepers. You might have even played against some of them. And then 5 other names from around the world.
Yeah.
Normally I scroll through your social media and find out who you're following, mate. It's a bit of stalking. So 1 point for each correct answer, right?
Yeah.
Get the scores out then. Do you think, what's your knowledge like?
I think it's good, but you're probably going to prove me wrong.
This means absolutely nothing if your knowledge is good, mate. This is all guessing.
Yeah.
Right, we'll crack straight in. So, number 1, Stanislav Buknev.
Sounds Bulgarian. I'm going to say keeper.
He is a goalie, but it's Armenian.
Oh, I'll take it.
Very good guess, that. He plays for Puyanik.
Yeah.
Very good guess, that. See, the names, every name on this list will sound like they should play in goal.
Really?
Every name. Decent, that. Good start. Right, number 2, Adrian. Right, let's get my pronunciations right. Adrian Wojnarowski. Wojnarowski. Adrian Wojnarowski.
I don't think he's good.
No, he is not a goalkeeper. He is a ESPN NBA insider commentator.
I knew that.
Really famous guy in NBA. Right, good start. Great start. Right, number 3, Ralph Schon.
That sounds like he should be a keeper, but I don't think he is. No goalkeeper.
He is a goalkeeper. He is the Luxembourg and Wiltz goalkeeper. Sounds like a goalie because he is a goalie.
Yeah. Guide.
Yeah. Right, number 4, Jack McDermott.
I'm going to go no goalkeeper.
He is not a
Yeah.
goalie. He's actually a Pieface, a YouTube streamer and Twitcher. He's really famous in Plymouth.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah. He was on Big Brother as
Yeah, I
a
recognise
young
him,
pup
actually,
as well. What a programme. I've not started watching a new Big Brother, actually.
No, I've not
No.
bothered.
Programmes. Not what it used to be.
No.
Right, number 5, Armando Iannucci.
It's got to be a goalkeeper. Yeah.
Goalie?
Yeah.
He is not a goalkeeper. He is the co-creator for the famous Norwich show, Alan Partridge.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's actually the co-creator.
I didn't know
Proper
that.
Norwich show, that.
Yeah. Not watched it.
Nah? Oh, you'll get some stick off the Norwich fans there, won't you?
Oh, well.
Right, number 6, Ujikan Kakir.
Ujikan Kake. Goalkeeper.
He is a goalie.
Yeah.
He's Turkey and Trabzonspor goalkeeper.
Really?
My pronunciations today are decent.
Yeah.
Agurkan Kakir, nice.
Kake.
Right, Oliver Bowman.
I don't know where I know this from. Goalkeeper.
He is a goalie,
Yeah.
yeah. He's a German fourth choice goalkeeper.
Yeah,
He's at
yeah,
Hoffenheim.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
Yeah. He was in the last squad with Germany.
Right.
But they've got such a good...
Mm.
You're never going to play for Germany.
No chance.
To Stegen plays. You've got Neuer,
Yeah.
Trapp. Got some goalies, by the
Yeah.
way. Right, number 8 is Aniban Lahiri.
Aniban.
Anirban Lahiri. How's my pronunciation, Rob? What do you reckon? Not bad?
I'll go with that.
Yeah, sound.
Goalkeeper.
He is not a goalkeeper. He's pro golfer on the Live Tour. He's actually in Bryson DeChambeau's team.
No, I never do that.
No, you follow his team. I think that's where I got it from. You
Do
follow
I?
the Live Golf, and I think you follow his team. I think it's Crashers.
Oh,
That's where I got that from. Went
yeah.
rogue and just went deep in.
Yeah, no, I think I've never seen him before now.
They won their last Live tournament, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good curveball. That one, I like that one.
Uh,
Right, number 9, Abdul Nuruddin.
We're due a goalkeeper, aren't we? Surely, goalkeeper.
He is a goalie. He is Ghana and European goalkeeper in Belgium.
Nice.
Yeah, decent. All right, last one, number 10, Ford Kiernan.
No goalkeeper.
He is not a
No.
goalie. Good way to
Who
finish
is
that. He is the actor from Still Game, the Scottish show.
Yeah,
Jack.
no, yeah, seen him.
Yeah. I'm sure all the lads most of the Scottish lads will berate you if you hadn't have got that one right.
Yeah, no. To be fair, I'd never really seen it before.
Yeah.
I went away with Scotland, but since I've sort of been with the squad, I've watched a lot of
Yeah.
it. So.
Honestly, I played in Scotland for 5 years, and
Yeah.
that's all the lads in the dressing room talked about.
Yeah.
Still Game and Rabsy Nesbitt.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
all they talked about. It's actually a class programme.
Yeah.
Right, well done, mate. 7 out of 10.
Take that.
Got to be happy with that.
Yeah.
It's good scoring, that, mate.
Yeah.
Very good.
What's the record?
10 out of 10.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. There's some bad ones, though. Some have got 4s out of 10. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. Mate, if you just get goalie for everyone, you get
Yeah,
an
no,
half.
he's true.
So it's a fair enough quiz. There's some good trick names in there, though.
Yeah.
Right, let's go on to some geeky goalkeeper stuff then, right? So what gloves do you currently wear?
Wearing the Pumas at the moment. I don't actually know what name they're.
What brand? What they are? You know they're Pumas.
Pumas, yeah.
How long have you been with Puma?
Probably a couple years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it started off from just wearing their boots.
Yep.
Started wearing their boots. And then all of a sudden they started just sending me gloves with the boots. So just tried them out in training, and then, yeah, I was, loved them straight away. So
Yeah. Did they send you all different cuts and that, or was it just like they
no,
sent
just
you out?
sent me these ones. I think
It's odd to see someone
they
wearing
make-
negative palms. I
yeah,
love seeing
no,
it.
they make them sort of. I think they used to make these specially for Pickford.
Yep.
And then they started sending me them, and I thought, yeah, these are nice. So I'm not sure they actually release them like on sale.
Yep.
Because they changed like the back of the palm and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I've ever since I've started wearing them, they're so comfy, Yeah, I just love them.
I,
Really.
I was surprised though, obviously, when you brought them in, but
Yeah.
the latex is still in
Yeah.
such good condition.
Yeah,
how
I
many,
know.
how many games and training sessions do you reckon you won them in?
What, these ones here? I'd probably say depends. Normally, I like to wear them in one training session, then in a game. And then depends how the game goes.
Yeah, no, I don't know, yeah.
So sometimes if I've had a clean sheet, I normally stick with the same pair of gloves.
Yeah.
And depends on how long that run goes for. But yeah, I'll probably say that probably 2 or 3 games I'll get out of them.
Yeah. Mate, I've got a story about that. So at the start of this season,
Yeah.
obviously Fozzie started the season
Yeah.
and then he retired. Then I got back in the team, and you know, like you go back to your old like comfy pair. So
Yeah.
I found a pair of gloves from like 3 years ago of Selzy's gloves, and they were brand new.
Yeah.
So I put them on, wore them. So 8 games in, we hadn't lost a game. I was like, these feel class.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'd not. It was like during pre-season, I played in them. I was class. And mate, the 9th game, like you know, when like you're like, no, I'll go again.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
lost 5-0.
Oh,
I was
no.
like, they just went straight in the bin.
Gloves fall, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play after that, so I didn't need them anyway.
Oh,
What size gloves do you wear?
10.
Yeah,
I think they might be 10.5.
yeah,
Because they're quite a tight glove. And I like them quite tight, to be fair.
yeah. That's,
like the
so
feel.
you say that you like them tight, but like the negative cut are normally
Yeah.
a bit wider, aren't they, on the
Yeah.
finger?
Yeah, yeah.
But is that just for comfort that you like them, or?
Yeah, just for comfort and feel of the ball.
Yep.
I think when I was younger, I used to wear when you used to just wear gloves way too big for
Yep.
you.
Or too thick, the foam.
Yeah, yeah, no. So I think nowadays, like, I like the feel of the ball, and but at the same time, not too flimsy at the back as well, because my fingers are quite delicate. So
Oh, they are.
yeah, no, I've had quite a few sort of injuries. So
Do you tape them up then?
yeah, most of them. Yeah,
Yep.
not every finger, but
Mate,
both my thumbs and
I'm
two or three
a
fingers.
massive advocate of taping your fingers.
Yeah.
I tape up little finger, index finger, and my right thumb.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's probably more of a habit now, really.
Yep. How
Like
weird
now-
is it when you don't do it though?
Yeah, no, it feels weird. I've had it a few times, and you never really get out of your head
Yeah.
until normally I just end up running in and just doing it, even if I miss a bit of training.
Yeah. Do you know what I like the feeling of? Is the traction that the tape gives
Yeah.
on the inside of your
Yeah,
gloves.
yeah.
I know some Puma gloves have got the nodules in, haven't they? They're like the
Yeah,
rubbery
no, them
bits.
ones. I don't think those ones have it. No.
No, but so some gloves give you
Yeah.
that when you.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that feeling of when the tape. It's like
Yeah,
friction
no.
against the
Like
material.
I said before, I like quite a tight glove, so and that probably makes it even tighter. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always tape most of my fingers out. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you wrists as well? Do you
Yeah.
say? Yeah.
Yeah, no, just because I do both my thumbs, so
Yeah. Oh, it goes right
yeah,
round.
just strap them around the wrist, just to keep the thumb strapping in.
Yeah.
Really.
I get a load of questions, but how do you look after your gloves? You don't. You just throw them away because you get a new pair of the game.
Nah, I actually put them in the wash.
Yeah.
Um,
You told me this before.
yeah,
it blew
no,
my
yeah.
mind.
Yeah, I used to like wash them in the showers
Yeah.
and just do it like that. But then I used to get like reaction on my hands.
Yep.
I just fingertips used to blister.
Yep.
And that was absolute agony. And ever since then, I just put them in the wash.
So do you give them to the kit man to put in the wash, or do you take
Yeah.
them home and wash them?
No, I give them.
Has he got certain instructions, like wash on a 30?
No, not really. No.
No?
But I think kit they always wash stuff like
Yeah.
put it in for 20 minutes, wash it on a 30 anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Don't put
they
them
always
near a radiator to dry.
no, they always come out pretty good, to be fair.
Yeah. Put a lot of trust in your kit man then.
Yeah, to be fair, sometimes they come out and they're like all yellow.
Yep.
I don't know whether that's maybe because of the home kit or
It must be the
way you
colouring in
wash
the
it.
kit.
Yeah, it must be. But when it's a white glove, it always looks pretty bad. So I end up just chucking them away.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think I used to do them in the shower and do them myself. But yeah, no, I had to just sort of get them properly cleaned in the end.
Yeah, you're quite a laid back person anyway,
Yeah.
so I can't imagine you being that stressed if they do come out yellow or
Nah.
ruined. You just go, just put a new pair
Yeah,
on.
I'll just wear them in training and then
Yeah.
just have a new pair for games. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm pretty chilled about everything really.
Yeah. You got any superstitions then?
Not really. No, I'm quite laid back, but at the same time, I'm quite OCD about my time.
Yep.
So I don't really like getting to stadiums late. Like when you're on the coach.
Yeah.
And
It's stressful when you're
yeah,
late,
we're
isn't it?
like rushing around. Like I said before, obviously I tape my fingers. I like having a bit of time to sort of relax and get ready.
Yeah.
So that's probably my only sort of thing that I like. But yeah, no, I'm not really that superstitious, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got a favourite time on a match day. You know, straight after your warm up, I go in like 15 minutes before kick off because that, you know, going in the dressing room for 10 minutes and there's no one else in there. That's like my favourite time. You know, like you gather your own thoughts, you think about the game, like you read over like your penalty stuff and like the opposition the set pieces. And, like I find that just that environment of just being in the dressing room, just quiet and chilled, getting ready, like changing your full kit, and that's just a nice solace place.
Yeah, no, that is a good time, to be fair. But yeah, no, I don't like sitting there too long because then I sort of get a bit worried, like what's going on here.
Yeah, you like worrying about time though, didn't you?
Yeah, no,
I think you're going to miss kickoff.
I've actually got really bad OCD time wise.
Yeah.
I get really anxious as well.
Does that carry on into your personal life?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't be late for anything.
No. Obviously, like, you know, footballers always have sort of fine lists and stuff like that. And yeah, that's probably one of my biggest fears, like getting fined for being late.
Yeah.
So I'm always at training probably 2 hours or an hour and a half before we need to be in.
Yeah.
Not just because of that, because I like getting ready and whatever, but yeah, no, I have a big fear of that.
Yeah, so I always say this to other people, but the goalkeepers are either the calmest person in the building and most calculated, or they're the most like hot-headed, and like there's like two different types of goalie. Yeah. It's always the same way.
Yeah.
And when you get two that work together, it don't match. It don't work. It's a weird situation. But when you get you all that are quite laid back and you just enjoy training, you all get there early and sit around and have a coffee and you do your stuff in the gym, and it's a nice environment when you're a goalie.
I've never really thought about that, but yeah, now you say it, that is pretty bang on.
There is, isn't there? Obviously, like we talked about Joe Hart before, but he's like full of energy, on it the whole time, like goes out, looks pumped. Yeah. But then you'll get like you, like Alex McCarthy, that like very quiet, like very chilled, laid back, and like it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I never thought that. That's right, to be fair.
Yeah, but like we've got a lot of young audience that listen to the show, so I always say like, try and find a goalie to model yourself on who you're like. So like, I've said it many times on here, but like I used to love Van der Sar. Harry played his body type. I was like, I'll just do what he does, and he's very casual, like laid back, but on it. Yeah. So like I was like, look, if he's calming, that's what I'm gonna play calming. Yeah. And that's what I always try to play. I never thought about like I want to kick it well. I just want to play calm. I don't want people to feel worried. So like, you're obviously quite a chilled out person anyway.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think much into your training routines, or do you just leave all that to your goalie coach? Do you like to have a structure?
No, not really. I like just sort of going with the flow. Yeah. Or obviously, like if there's like he always comes to you and asks like what anything you want to do like before the weekend or whatever, like, and there's, you know, if I want to do a bit of crossing or a little bit of distribution or whatever, but yeah, no, I don't really like sort of dictating stuff or anything like that. I just like going with the flow, really. Yeah.
Do you do a lot of work then into the opposition, or do you leave that to them and they'll approach you if they've got someone that shoots from 30 yards every game?
Yeah, no, training's always sort of based on the opposition, and we have probably a meeting a couple of days before a game on sort of analysing their sort of strengths of their attackers, and yeah, I think, you know, just little bits. It's not like over information. Like, I think that can be bad, because then you're sort of looking for something that might not come. Yeah.
This is where I think there's really good skill in a really good goalie coach, because they'll do all that work and put it into your training sessions, and you never know. So like you could be playing, I don't know, like the old Stoke that used to put loads of crosses in, and like for that week before, you'd just be doing crossing every day, and by the end of the week you'd be like, oh, I've done crossing, but it's because of who you're playing against. Or if you've got a free kick expert, like they'll creep in a way of doing shots from distance, and you'll get that into your mindset. It's like a knowledge thing that you'll just pick it up straight away.
Yeah, no, to be fair, that's pretty much how it goes. Like he when we see stuff on like probably the Friday before the game, and like thinking like, oh, why have we done loads of like low crosses this week? And like, obviously their opposition strength's low crossing. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's. I think coaching has maybe changed now. Yeah. I think like obviously, back in the day it used to be a couple of volleys. You know, maybe a few crosses,
A dive pendulum.
Yeah, and everyone just have shots from the edge of the box. But yeah, no, like the detail they go into now is pretty crazy, really.
Yeah, and then do you do much in the gym?
Yeah, to be fair, I think like I said before, I didn't really used to sort of buy into it that much when I was younger, which I sort of regret now, really. And then sort of can't remember when it was. Maybe when I went to Southampton. I think. Yeah, when I started working with Dave Watson at Southampton, he sort of got me into it, and then
Loves it, doesn't he?
Yeah, ever since then I sort of just loved it, really, and now now I've sort of gone full circle. Now like I'm like massive on it.
Yeah, what do you do in the gym? What is your go-to? What do you find benefits you?
So like, I always like to do like a big power session on a Friday, like day before a game.
No way.
Yeah, no. So it's not massive, like it's not too hard, but it's more like explosive stuff.
Yep.
Like short reps. Quite sometimes heavy, but then more just plyometrics and
a lot of dynamic movements.
Yeah, just sort of feels like it gets me sort of going for the weekend.
Do you do that on a Friday before training?
Yeah, before training.
So then when you go into training, obviously a Friday session's never normally that long. Do you?
Yeah, I always feel really good on a Friday. Yeah,
that's interesting. I've never seen it like that way done. Normally people do like Thursday's work day.
Yeah, no, I think it used to be Thursday, and then I feel like I sort of realised that I felt really good after it.
Yeah.
So then I was like, why not do it on a Friday, even closer to the game?
Yeah, nice.
Because you never really feel that sore from it or anything.
No, you
like
don't.
that.
No, not as a goalie.
Yeah. So yeah, no. Ever since then, I've just sort of feel like I sort of need at least something before, and it's hard now when we go over Scotland, like away games, when you don't really have the facilities to do that kind of thing. Like I just have to sort of make stuff up. I'm just sort of doing like squat jumps in a hotel room.
Some of the hotel gyms are terrible as well.
So, sometimes I need a bit of improvisation, but yeah, no, that's probably my biggest thing.
Do you travel with much equipment yourself? Are you a big one on away trips that you take your own like clingy bands and stuff like that?
Yes, normally I take. To be fair, I like sort of trigger point balls.
Yep. Yeah.
Because I'm massive, and traveling doesn't really agree with my body. So whenever I'm traveling, I always have a trigger point ball. Like even if it's on the coach, I just put it sort of in my glutes or my back, and that helps me quite a lot. So that's probably the only thing that I really sort of use now.
Yeah, traveling. I don't think people understand how much traveling gets to you.
Yeah.
Like your lower back, your glutes, even my hip flexors go tight. That's what I know is like the bottom of my hamstrings, because it's just a seated position. But like I've ruptured my right hip flexor a long time ago, and like I have to do so much work on that now. Yeah. No, traveling like doesn't agree with me, but I think now I've sort of learned how to deal with it. Yep. That's just an experience.
Yeah.
You know your own body as you get older.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, that's probably the only thing I sort of take when I'm traveling, really.
Yeah. Right. I've got a couple more, just a few final ones. But what's your release away from football?
I'd say golf, but I always, when I get into it, I always seem to sort of get an injury where I can't play golf. So like sometimes I've had a few shoulder injuries, like when I'm getting into golf, and then it sort of puts me back.
Yep.
So it can't really be golf, to be fair. But now I've got a couple of dogs, so I just like getting fresh air and
just getting straight out, walking the dogs.
Taking the dogs out. And other than that, I don't really have too much, to be honest.
I've got a dog as well, but like planning your days around walking a dog, it's so good though on your day off. Like Sunday mornings, nothing better than walking the dogs, is there? But obviously, like your training schedule, we was talking about this before, you now train on a Sunday or sometimes on a Saturday night, and then you'll have the Monday off.
Yeah.
Do you find that works better for you?
Sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. It's one of them, like...
Depends on results always, doesn't it?
Results and like what like your friends or your family are doing on that day. But I think sometimes you feel like, I'd love the Sunday off, like just standard, like go for a roast, like just chill out with the family. But then sometimes it's nice on a Monday as well, because kids are at nursery, or my kids at nursery, and you just have that kind of day to yourself. And do what you want, really. So sometimes it works, sometimes
that's
it's
why
annoying.
Wednesdays are class, mate. You get to play golf and the kids are at school. Love having him about, but I get to play golf on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
no, yeah. Blessing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's my release anyway. Right. Finally, then, Angus, what does a goalkeepers union mean to you? I like this deep question.
Yeah,
Everyone's
no.
answer's so different, you know.
Yeah, to me, I think it's just kind of loyalty, really. I think just like obviously outside, like outfield players, they always, look at us and think, a bunch of weirdos. But it's just that kind of close-knit group that we just have a laugh with, really. Just, a couple of mates having a few shots together. I think obviously there's always one that's playing and one that's not, and then obviously younger lads. But I think it's just the camaraderie between each other, and sometimes it is hard, like obviously, but I think just trying to enjoy it with your mates and just have a laugh, really.
Yeah, no,
That's what I
superb,
take
mate.
from it,
Yeah, no, exactly that, mate. I don't think there is like one way you can sum it
No.
up. Like, everyone's take on it, and then
Yeah.
I listen to them all now. I've done like 50 shows, and I'm like, I like that bit, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's what it means to me. And then like, the next person comes in the next week, I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
same,
no, I get that. Like, it's just that camaraderie, that
Yeah.
like that balance that you have of like you understand what they're
Yeah.
going through, whether you're even like when you're playing and the number two's not like the way that you treat them
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they treat you, like it's just special. But like
Yeah.
outfielders don't get it because there's like 20 of them, 30
Yeah,
of them.
exactly, yeah.
They don't ever get that like one-on-one interaction of like
No.
your rivals but best friends. Like
Yeah.
no one ever knows that feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely special.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I love it.
No, mate. Thank you very much for coming
No,
on.
no
It's
worries.
been an absolute class episode. Thank you very much, Angus Gunn, mate.
Nice one.
Thank you. This has been the Yours Mine Away podcast with me, Mark Howard. Massive shout out to our two sponsors, Mito Red Light and Forged Irish Stout, for being part of the pod. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.